You lean down to your dog's level and whisper a single word. His head tilts immediately, one ear dipping toward the floor. It is one of the most familiar gestures in your household, yet almost everything you have assumed about it is incomplete. That small movement contains a message you have never been told. It is not just a funny quirk or a way to hear you better. The head tilt is a window into your dog's emotional world. It reveals how your dog sees you moment by moment. For decades, animal behaviorists had a simple theory. They believed the tilt was purely mechanical, a way to reposition the ears. That idea made sense on the surface, but it missed the deeper psychological reason completely. This helps the animal locate the source of a sound more precisely. That explanation makes some sense. Owls do something similar when hunting. Their asymmetrical ear openings allow them to triangulate prey in the dark. But a dog's ears are not asymmetrical, and your dog tilts its head even when you are right in front of them. They can already see you. They can already hear you clearly. So why the tilt? A psychologist named Stanley Coren offered a different theory. Coren is a well-known researcher on dog behavior and intelligence. He proposed that the head tilt is actually about vision, not about hearing at all. Imagine the face of a dog with a long snout, a Labrador, a Collie, a German Shepherd. Now imagine that dog looking straight at you. The lower part of your face is hidden behind its own muzzle. Your mouth, your chin, the subtle movements you make when you speak. Those are all obscured. Coren hypothesized that dogs tilt their heads to swing the muzzle out of the way, to bring your entire face into view. He noticed something else. Short-nosed breeds like pugs or Boston Terriers tilt their heads far less often. Their flat faces do not create a visual blind spot, so they have no need to shift their perspective. Coren's idea was elegant. It suggested that dogs are trying to read human expressions. They want to see the whole picture, but the theory did not explain everything. For one, many long-nosed dogs never tilt their heads, and some flat-faced dogs do. Clearly, vision alone was not the full answer. A few years ago, a team of researchers in Hungary decided to look deeper. They ran a study at Eötvös Loránd University in Budapest. The lead scientists were Andrea Somzi and Claudia Fugazza. They decided to study a very special group of dogs. These were gifted word learner dogs, animals that had been trained to recognize the names of dozens, sometimes hundreds of toys. Your average dog might learn a few commands: sit, stay, walk. But these dogs were different. When asked to fetch a specific toy by name, they could do it reliably. They had a vocabulary comparable to a young child. The researchers set up a simple experiment. They asked the owners to command their dogs to fetch a certain toy from another room. The team recorded the dogs' responses. They measured how often each dog tilted its head after hearing the toy's name. The results were striking. The gifted dogs tilted their heads far more often than typical dogs. When they heard a familiar toy name, 43% of the time they tilted their heads. Typical dogs tilted their heads only 2% of the time. That is a massive difference. It suggested the head tilt was not just about vision or hearing. It was linked to something cognitive. The tilt seemed to be a sign that the dog was processing the meaning of the word. They were matching a sound to a stored memory. Your voice saying the word ball connected to the image of a ball. That takes mental effort. You have seen a similar thing in humans. When you ask a person a difficult question, they might squint. They might tilt their head. They might look up as if searching their brain. Dogs do the same. The head tilt is the physical manifestation of concentration. There was another intriguing detail in the Hungarian study. Each dog that tilted its head had a preferred side, a right tilter or a left tilter. They did it consistently time after time. This lateralization hints at how the canine brain is organized. Just as humans have left or right hemisphere specializations for language, for dogs, word processing might also be lateralized. The tilt could reflect which hemisphere is more active during the task. It is a peek inside your dog's mind. The researchers pointed out that the tilt is not a trained behavior. It is spontaneous. It emerges naturally when the dog is engaged in a challenging mental task. And it appears most strongly in dogs that are especially attentive to human language. This connects back to the domestication of dogs. Over thousands of years, dogs have evolved to read humans. They watch human faces. They listen to human tone. They have become experts at interpreting human intentions. The head tilt might be a product of that deep evolutionary partnership. Another prominent researcher, Adam Miklosi, has written extensively on this topic. He is also from Eötvös Loránd University and directs the Family Dog Project. Miklosi's work shows that dogs are uniquely sensitive to human communication. They follow pointing gestures better than chimpanzees do. Even wolf pups raised by humans do not follow points as well as dog pups. Dogs are hardwired to look to humans for information. The head tilt could be part of that looking. It might be a social signal that says, I am paying attention to you. But the Hungarian toy study suggests it is more than a social cue. It is closely tied to the act of recognizing words. Your dog is not just looking at you. Your dog is thinking about what you mean. So why does your dog tilt its head when you speak? The answer is layered. One layer is anatomy. For many dogs, the tilt literally gives them a better view of your mouth and eyes. They are trying to read your face, unobstructed by their own nose. A second layer is auditory. The tilt does adjust the ear position slightly, which might help with locating sounds. But the most surprising layer is cognitive. That tilt is a sign that your dog is processing your words as meaningful signals. They are searching their memory for associations. They are connecting the sound of your voice to the things it represents. In that moment, your dog is bridging the gap between species through language. Think of the implications. When your dog tilts its head at you, it is not a passive reflex. It is an active, effortful response. It reveals that your dog is not just hearing you. Your dog is listening, and not just listening. Your dog is trying to understand. That is a profound thing to realize about an animal you live with every day. The creature sleeping on your couch is constantly monitoring you. It is analyzing your sounds and expressions. It is searching for meaning. And sometimes that search is written in a simple tilt of the head. Now consider this. Not all dogs do it equally. If your dog tilts its head often, it might be because they are particularly tuned into words. Maybe they have a larger than average vocabulary. Maybe they are exceptionally attuned to your speech patterns. You might have a canine linguist on your hands. If your dog rarely tilts its head, that does not mean they love you less. It could simply reflect a different communication style or a different head shape. But either way, the tilt is a window. It offers a glimpse into the canine mind, which is far more complex than once assumed. There is another twist. The tilt may also serve a social function for your dog. When a dog tilts its head, humans tend to respond positively. People find it endearing. They smile, they praise, they offer treats. Over the course of domestication, dogs that tilted their heads might have been favored. It became a trait that improved their bond with humans. Natural selection and human preference have a way of reinforcing such behaviors. So the tilt might be, in part, a signal meant for you, an adaptive social tool. But unlike a learned trick, it feels deeply spontaneous. It arises when your dog is genuinely engaged. Next time you see that familiar gesture, take a moment. Observe the context. What were you just saying? Did you use a word your dog knows? A favorite toy? A walk? A treat? If so, you're watching a cognitive act unfold. You're witnessing a mind at work. You are seeing the result of thousands of years of coevolution. The wild wolf does not tilt its head at a human voice, but your dog does, because your dog has spent generations learning to communicate with you. The head tilt is proof that your voice matters deeply to your dog. So what does this mean for you? You started with a simple question. Why does your dog tilt its head when you speak? You might have expected a simple answer about hearing. Instead, you have found a story about vision, memory, evolution, and love. It is a story that begins with the shape of a snout. It passes through the laboratories of modern science, and it ends in your living room, with your dog's eyes on yours. Your dog tilts its head when you speak, not to be cute, not to beg for food, but to see you, to understand you, to connect with you in the deepest way available to them. And now, when you see it happen, you can tilt your own head in return. You will know exactly what it means. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. There's much more to discover.